Why were twins sometimes considered dangerous and even killed in ancient times? Throughout history, in many different cultures and times when twins were born, it caused both happiness and fear. But why did some societies find twins so strange? In many old traditions, twins weren't just unusual. People thought they were special signs. Their birth at the same time made people wonder, did they bring good luck or bad luck? Since no one knew what it meant, people found twins both fascinating and frightening. Being born together went against what people normally believed about life and fate. These events made people think they were either getting messages from gods or warnings that something bad was happening in nature. Join us as we explore this interesting story and see how, for a long time, people have both respected and feared twins. In Africa, perceptions of twins varied widely. For the Yoruba people of Nigeria, twins, known as Ibeji, were seen as bearers of joy and prosperity, thought to bring blessings to their families. They were celebrated with special statues and rituals. However, not far away, the Igbo people held a starkly different view. They often saw twins as a curse associated with evil spirits. In some Igbo communities, the birth of twins was met with fear, and the children could be harmed or even killed to protect the community from perceived misfortune. Turning to ancient Europe, particularly Rome, the birth of twins could elicit mixed reactions. While the legendary founders of Rome, Romulus and Remus, were twins and celebrated figures, common Roman citizens might view the birth of twins as a disruption of natural order, leading to suspicion and fear. In Scandinavia, before the spread of Christianity, twins could be seen as having strong, mystical powers, possibly embodying the great strength of Viking warriors. Yet, there was also an underlying fear about the spiritual and physical implications of their birth, reflecting the dual nature of life and death, which was a common theme in Norse mythology. In Asia, particularly ancient China, twins were often viewed negatively, associated with misfortune or seen as a sign of excess. The Chinese traditionally believed in the importance of balance and harmony, and twins could be interpreted as an imbalance in the natural yin and yang. This belief sometimes resulted in difficult lives for twins, who could be abandoned or mistreated. Across the Pacific in pre-Columbian America, beliefs about twins varied among indigenous cultures. The Maya, for instance, revered twins as sacred beings connected to the gods. Their mythology included the hero twins, who were central figures in their creation myths. However, other tribes viewed the birth of twins as a sign of impending natural upheaval, reflecting the unpredictable and often dual nature of the world around them. These ancient beliefs about twins reveal how people tried to make sense of the world. Twins were a phenomenon that pushed the boundaries of ordinary life, and in trying to understand their place, societies wove them into the fabric of their myths, religions, and cultural narratives. They were seen as both a blessing and a curse, capable of bringing immense joy or great trouble, depending on where and when they were born. As we delve deeper into the perspectives of twins across different regions, it's clear that the treatment and societal roles of twins could vary dramatically, often depending on local mythologies and the spiritual importance placed on their birth. In some Native American cultures, such as among certain tribes in North America, twins were sometimes seen as having two spirits that could potentially be powerful mediators between the physical and spiritual worlds. This spiritual significance bestowed upon twins often placed them in roles of potential healers or leaders within their communities. However, if misfortune befell the tribe, such as a drought or a poor hunting season, twins could just as easily be blamed for angering the spiritual world, showcasing the precarious position they often held. Meanwhile, in ancient India, twins were sometimes associated with divinity and were featured prominently in Hindu mythology. For example, the Ashvins, twin horsemen in the Vedic scriptures were gods of medicine and health, symbolizing the healing and life-giving aspects of nature. However, in more local folklore, twins could also be seen as a sign of misfortune or as a result of past karma, leading to varied treatments across different regions and communities. In the Pacific Islands, particularly in Polynesian cultures, twins often held a special status and were sometimes believed to have descended from gods. This divine connection gave twins a revered place in society, where they were often entrusted with ceremonial roles or seen as protectors of their people. Yet, this reverence was not universal. In other parts of Polynesia, twins might have been feared for the same reasons, believed to be harbingers of significant change or disruption to social order. The ancient Egyptians also had complex views on twins. While there is less direct evidence of how twins were specifically regarded in everyday life, Egyptian mythology includes stories of twin gods who represented dual aspects of nature and life. This suggests that twins were integrated into the most fundamental stories about the universe and existence, potentially mirroring their acceptance and spiritual importance in society. These historical perspectives highlight the dualities with which twins were often associated, representing balance, duality, and the interplay between opposing forces, whether they be good and evil, health and sickness, or creation and destruction. Across different cultures, the birth of twins did not merely represent an additional member of the family, but invoked a deeper reflection on balance, morality, and the natural laws of the universe. In Central Africa, particularly among the Congolese, twins were sometimes believed to possess spiritual powers that could affect the fate of their tribes. They were often viewed as having a unique connection to the spiritual world, capable of bringing either great fortune or misfortune. This sacred status required special rituals and treatment to ensure that the power of twins was harnessed for the benefit of all. However, this reverence was juxtaposed with fear in times of hardship, where twins could be blamed for any misfortunes befalling the community. In the Middle East, the historical records from ancient times are sparse regarding specific beliefs about twins, but the influence of Islamic and pre-Islamic beliefs can be seen in the folklore and oral traditions. In some Arab cultures, twins were seen as a sign of God's favor, providing twice the joy and blessings. Yet, there were also underlying fears about the health and viability of both mother and children during such births, which could be complicated and risky, given the medical understanding of the time. In all these cultures, the existence of twins challenged the standard societal norms and often required an explanation that fit within the existing spiritual and mythological frameworks. Whether seen as a blessing or a curse, twins were almost always the subject of special attention and, in many cases, specific rituals and practices developed to manage the perceived extra spiritual energy they brought into the world. The treatment of twins in ancient times also reflects the broader societal attitudes towards anomalies and the unknown. Societies that viewed the unknown with fear and suspicion might treat twins with wariness or outright hostility. Conversely, cultures with a more open and inclusive interpretation of the divine or mystical might view twins as a special gift or as bearers of luck and prosperity. In addition to the spiritual and mythological interpretations, there were practical considerations that influenced how twins were received. The birth of twins could strain resources in times and places where food and medical care were scarce. This practical challenge sometimes influenced the cultural narratives surrounding twins, framing them as burdens during hard times, despite any sacred status they might hold. As we conclude our journey through the ancient beliefs about twins, we see a rich diversity of perspectives that span continents and cultures. From revered and sacred to feared and ostracized, twins have held a unique mirror to the values, fears, and aspirations of societies throughout history. Their stories offer us a fascinating glimpse into how humans make sense of the extraordinary, navigating the complexities of life with stories and practices that seek to integrate the unusual into the rhythm of everyday existence.